Hi, everyone. Welcome to Accounting 307. This is Accounting for Managers and Engineers. It's also cross-listed as Engineering 307. It's an online course this fall, and I'm Cheryl Weston. I'm the instructor for this course. So I'm going to do just a quick video to go over the syllabus, some information about the class overall. I also will do a short introduction of myself, and you will all have the opportunity to do an introduction in our discussion post for the class. So anyway, a little bit about myself. I am an instructor here at Western Illinois University. I've been teaching courses for about 20 plus years. Question mark on the plus. But I am also, I started out my career in accounting and public accounting. I am a registered CPA. My office is in Stipes Hall, and there is my email address, caweston@wiu.edu. I'm trying to remember what I have on the discussion posts. So obviously my education is in accounting, but I do have a master's in business administration, MBA with a concentration in finance. I've also worked in banking, public accounting or governmental accounting, and then I've had businesses on the side. But I have been doing the teaching for about 25 years. Oh, unique fact. I am going to be at a wedding this first week. It's out of town, so I won't have office hours this week. The accounting tutors, the graduate assistants will be available this week if you have any questions that need immediately addressed. I will put in the Western Online announcements their contact information. You can still email me, but my responses to email is going to not be very good this first week. Other than that, it should be fine. Oh, anyway, fun fact. That's not a fun fact. I'm trying to learn a dance that we're supposed to all be doing at the wedding. So yay. Very, I maybe not so excited about that, but I'm sure it'll be very fun. Anyway, course dates. This is a 16-week course. This course combines financial accounting concepts and managerial accounting concepts into one course. So you're going to get a little bit of everything. We can't go super in depth. Obviously, there's a lot of information. So the textbook that we're using, we are going to go through a lot of chapters, but we won't be able to get through all of them. Here's some of the learning objectives that we're going to look at. If you've already taken 201 or 202, you shouldn't be in this course. This is supposed to be a combination course where it's combining a little bit of finance and managerial at the same time. You should be at least a junior to be in the class. This is the textbook that we're using. And when I say textbook, this is a McGraw-Hill book, and I need everyone to purchase the Connect access to this textbook. So it's a homework management system. And with that electronic Connect access, you get an electronic book. So a couple of ways you can get it. You can purchase it through the WIU bookstore. There's a link to the bookstore. Also, when you get registered in Connect, which we'll talk about that, you're able to just buy it directly from McGraw-Hill at that time. When you first go to register, you can sign up for like a free trial for a couple of weeks, and then you can enter your code in later, and it'll keep prompting you for the code if you haven't purchased it yet. So don't worry, you won't forget about it. They will remind you. So you do need a computer, you do need internet access. The exams you'll have in this course, you are going to need a lockdown browser and monitor. We're going to use Proctorio. It's included with your Connect access, so you don't need to buy anything separate. But I do require the recording to be done of you during the exam, so you do have to have a webcam. So make sure if you don't have that, that you have access to that for the exam. You do have to download some software. We'll go through all the steps prior to the exam to make sure you're set up appropriately. Communication with an online class, most of your assignments, most of them will be in Connect, which is something that you can access through your Western Online account. So if you go into Western Online, it should have all the due dates for your assignments, whether it's a discussion post in Western Online or whether it is an assignment in Connect, it will pull through onto Western Online. Same thing with your grades. I will post some announcements on Western Online also. So that's really our main contact. You can also email me. When you go to do some of the homework assignments, there's also like an Ask My Instructor feature that you can utilize as well. Oh, on Western Online, if you weren't aware, you can set up notifications from Western Online. So there's instructions on how to do it. I highly recommend you do that to get an email of the announcements. You can also set up a Pulse app where it will text you or send you notifications about due dates on assignments. So that's very helpful. So technology, we're going to be using Western Online. If you have any issues with that, here's some resources that you can use. WIU Tech, that is just to receive your WIU ecom name and password. So you'll need that in order to log on to Western Online. So if you're not aware what that is, then you need to contact UTech. And then when you're using Connect, if you have any sort of issues with Connect, they have a really great customer support. It's open 7 days a week. Most of the time you can just connect with them electronically, or if you're on your computer having issues, you can hop on your phone and call them. You can do a troubleshoot on your computer to make sure you have appropriate software. Same thing with the Western Online. You can do a system check to make sure that everything's up to date on your computer. So I recommend doing that. So what are we going to be doing? The course is 16 weeks long. We are going to be covering 13 chapters. Over the first half of the semester, we're going to be diving into financial accounting concepts. So all your basic accounting definition terms, what is accounting, and your financial statements, what are those? How does the information get on those? Analyzing those statements. So that's going to take up, I think, 8 of the chapters, and then the remaining 5 chapters are more managerial and cost accounting, which also uses that financial accounting information, but we're going to build upon that. So we're going to cover 13 chapters, a chapter a week, okay? Each chapter, you're going to have 2 types of assignments. Okay, good. I've got that in there. I wasn't seeing it. We'll have a smart book assignment and a homework assignment. So we'll talk about those in a minute. And before each exam, there's going to be 2 exams, one over the financial accounting chapters and then one over the managerial or cost accounting chapters. They won't be equal points because you've got 8 chapters for the first part and then 5 for the remainder. So they will be divided up appropriately as far as points. But you're going to have a quiz, which I call a mini test, and an exam for financial accounting, and then one for the managerial chapters. And due dates on those, I'll show you the schedule here at the very end. So what's going to go towards your grade? I'll come back to this discussion post. Smart book assignments, you're going to have one for each chapter. In Connect, after you get registered, there's a Getting Started folder. There are tutorials about using Connect, the Smart Book assignments. There's also a tutorial about the homework assignments. I also have a short video about how I use Smart Book and homework assignments in my courses. So take a look at that because it gives you the detail that's specific for this course and all the courses where I use McGraw-Hill. And then as far as those quizzes and exams, you're going to have 2 quizzes or mini tests and 2 exams. So the mini tests are worth 150 points, or not each, in total. And then the exams are worth 300 points in total. So it will be split out in between the 2 main subject matters of financial and managerial. Your mini tests, you will only have 1 attempt on those. In the Smart Book and the homework, you have a lot of features like check my work. You can make multiple attempts. But on the mini test, all that is going to be shut off. So on those mini test quizzes, you can use your textbook and your notes. It does need to be your own work. You only have the one attempt to do it. It's not timed. You just have to complete it by the due date and time. And that's true with all the assignments except for the exams. It has to be completed by the due date and time because it does submit automatically to me. Your exams, that's where you're going to need the Proctorio lockdown browser and monitor. You can only use your brain. I'll let you have a note card, handwritten note card on the exam. So you can't use outside resources when it comes to the exams. Those will be timed, and I'm not sure if I have passwords on them, but again, you need to complete it by the due date and time, but there's no set time when you have to take it other than it has to be completed by a certain due date. And I'll get into the grade scale in a minute. The getting started assignments, there's a folder in Connect that has all the tutorials for the various things on Connect, and there's a syllabus quiz, so hopefully you've been paying attention. If not, you can have the syllabus in front of you during the syllabus quiz, okay? So here's what makes up your grade. Homework assignments, they're 20 points for each chapter, so that's going to be 260 points. Mini tests, let me go to SmartBooks. SmartBooks are 10 points for each chapter, so times 13, that's 130. Mini tests, two of them, the two of them combined will total 150 points. The exams, the financial exam is going to be worth 180, the managerial 120, so that's a total of 300 points or 30% of your grade. The getting started assignments are worth 20, and discussion posts. Let's talk about discussion posts. So I skipped over that. So about every other week, you're going to have a discussion question or discussion topic that's going to be out there in Western Online. And you'll need to craft your own response, and that's supposed to be 2 to 3 paragraphs. I'll give you the instructions along with that discussion question. It does need to be proper grammar. It does need to be your own ideas and thoughts. And that needs to be completed by Friday of that week. And then before Sunday of that weekend, I want you to go in and respond to another student's post or comment on it. And there will be more instructions on Western Online about that. But they're worth 10 points. Sorry, no, they're worth 20 points. So 10 points for your initial post, 10 points for responding to another student appropriately. And there will be 7 discussion topics. This first week I have, if you want to post a little introductory discussion post about yourself, I've got 10 points of extra credit on there for that. So that's not one of our 7. That's just extra credit. Hopefully you'll all want to do that. That would be great to get to know everyone. So those are the things that go into your grade. Here's the grade scale. You can take a look at that. I think that's pretty common with most of the professors here. Sometimes we have to make changes. I will say I have taught this class before. This is a new textbook, so I'll be developing some content as we go. I don't have everything posted out there in Western Online and on Connect yet. I'll be working on that throughout the semester. So you've got several chapters available to you, and I'll definitely keep ahead of you by 3 to 4 chapters, if not more. And then there may be some additional content that I get posted. And I have used YouTube videos before, just like with this. Policies, WIU policies, you can take a look at all of those. Here's a little bit about our College of Business Technology, our mission statement. We are AACSB accredited, just so you know that. So that's ensuring the excellence of our program. And then here is, and I haven't finished with this yet because I need to put the link to this video on here. But here's my recommendation for how to approach the course. The chapter assignments are always due on Friday night. Same thing with the mini test and the quizzes. You don't have to do them on Friday night. In fact, I would encourage you to do them much earlier in the week, preferably Tuesday, maybe Wednesday at the latest, and then you've got some time to get some feedback, or if you have some questions, to get those answered. So definitely start on the weekend, reading your textbook, start doing the smart book assignments, get that completed by Tuesday. The homework then, hopefully by Wednesday. That way you've got time to get questions answered if you need that. So what are you doing each week? Week 1, you're watching this video, which I'll end up putting the link here. I want you then to get registered in Connect. So there's a video from McGraw-Hill about that process. And then I have a video about how I use Connect in my courses. So take a look at both of those, get registered in Connect, and then get into that Getting Started folder and get those assignments done, Connect tutorials, syllabus quiz, all that great stuff. It's worth 15 points. I guess 10. Ooh, this class. Ooh, is that right? I'll have to double check that. I think that might have been from another course, but you can take a look. I will confirm what the points are, and I'll put that in the Western Online announcement. And then number 3, introduce yourself in the classroom discussion. So this point structure might be changing, sorry. And then get started on chapter 1 if you get through all the tutorials. So, and then each week I've done a breakout of what chapter we'll be covering that week. All the due dates are due that Friday of that week. So our next week of class, the Friday will be September 5th. We'll be doing chapter 1. It's kind of a short chapter. Smart book and homework assignments will be due. Normally with the homework assignments, you have unlimited attempts and there's check my work, but there's not a whole lot of content in that first chapter. So I think I just have 2 attempts on there, and it's a lot of true false type of questions. You can use your textbook, obviously, when you're doing homework. So I just made it a 2 attempt. And there's no check my work because it would just tell you the answer. And at least I want you to go into the textbook and read about it. There is a discussion post. Your first discussion post is going to be due Friday, September 5th. I will have that popping up here sometime soon after you get through the first week getting started stuff. But then here's the outline for each week, what chapter we're going to be working on. And we do cover 8 chapters. We get through chapter 9 for the financial information, but we skip chapter 3, and then you're going to have the exam on it that next week. Then we start in on the managerial cost accounting, and then during finals week, you've got the exam for that section. So that's pretty much it. If you've got questions about anything this week, again, I'll be out. So limited access to email. Tutors are available if you have any issues with content or anything with Connect. You can reach out to them. I'll put their contact information out in Western Online announcement. If it's not anything urgent, feel free to email me and I'll get back to it when I'm back. And I hope you have a great start to your semester. This is all going to be posted in Western Online, and reach out to me or the tutors with any questions that you have this first week. So look forward to reading all your discussion posts and have a great day. That's it.